Hi, I'm Carmen.
And I'm Steven, and this is Vienna Past and Present,
where we walk through the gilded and sometimes not so gilded halls of Vienna's history. So we have a bit of a grab bag episode today, and we wanted to give a bit of context as to where the idea for this episode came from before we get into it. We had a listener suggestion come in from someone who's planning to move to Vienna quite soon, and they suggested that we do a Vienna Survival guide, which we liked that idea, but we thought we wanted to look at some things that aren't necessarily the most obvious things, right? There's a lot of stuff out there with all the kind of basic, life in Europe, whatever sort of thing. But we thought we would look at some things today that shape life in Vienna that maybe are not so obvious to people until you actually live here for a while.
Right.
And then, coupled with that, my brother-in-law sent me an article from the Washington Post, maybe 2 weeks ago, about apparently a new social media trend in the US, which is based on, well, they said it was a German concept. I would argue it's also an Austrian concept. The concept of Lüften, which unfortunately the Americans have come up with a much worse name for, but I guess we'll get into that.
Way worse or better, depending who you ask.
Yeah, they're calling it, what are they calling it, Stephen?
House burping.
Had you heard this before?
No.
No, okay. Horrible. House burping, terrible, unacceptable. Oh, no, we gotta, it's Lüften.
We're gonna turn that around here, maybe.
Yeah, that's my main goal here, is to get people on the Lüften train. So anyway, we're going to explain what that is. We wanted to start with that and then, kind of see how that's lived here, what's behind it. But it's not really enough for a full episode, so we thought we would do a bit of a lightning round survival guide and look at some other practices as well. Sort of the unwritten rules of life in Vienna. The uniquely Austrian practices that are kind of very normal here, but probably very unusual for others.
Right. House burping and more.
Yes, correct.
Okay. You ready, Carmen?
Yeah.
So, first one, Lüften. So in the article she mentioned, there was something called the ritual of Lüften. Just to quickly summarize what this means, it's basically like to air out your house. That's kind of what I'm gathering, which is something that we do. We just say air the place out. But Austrians and Germans, they take this further. Sometimes it's written into rental contracts, for example. So, Carmen, why is this such a thing? Why is this newsworthy? Is this just clickbaity? Or what is this in your daily or weekly or monthly life?
I mean, Lüften is a real thing. I don't know if it's newsworthy. That's maybe a separate question. But it's definitely a topic here. And Lüften is just a part of daily life. Everywhere you go, or...
Daily?
Yes,
okay.
Daily. In offices, in your apartment, wherever you are. If there's a bit of, stale air... The first thing will always be, Lüften. We have to Lüften, meaning to open up the windows, open up the doors, whatever, and get some fresh air in. And it is a real practice that people do, every day, 5 minutes, open all your windows, air out the place.
Every day for 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, people don't always do it every day for 5 minutes, but that would be kind of a standard thing.
Okay.
When you come home, that's the first thing you do. Open all the windows, air it out. And I will say I didn't understand this for a long time, because I also thought, what is this Lüften thing? Why are they so obsessed with it? But I came to realize over time that it actually is kind of important, because the windows here are so tightly sealed that there is no air coming in.
Okay.
Zero.
Oh.
And if you're not airing out your place, you're going to wind up with mold and other problems. And so you actually do need to air it out, because it's actually very... well sealed, well designed in a way, but almost too well designed. And then I think in countries my interpretation, maybe this is a bit rude, but my interpretation of the US or the UK, for example, as well, is that the houses are lifting themselves all the time because they're not properly sealed. I mean, I think that's really what it is.
Interesting. Okay, see, there's something more here, and maybe we found it. All right, so, what do you just, let's say you're Lüftening in the winter. You're just okay, I'm at someone's home and we will be freezing for 5 minutes. And
yeah, it's a breath.
What does grandma do? What does grandma do when, Lüften is happening?
I mean,
does she go to bed?
I have to say the average Austrian home, especially in the countryside, is so overheated most of the time that the Lüften is a real nice breath of fresh air.
Really?
Yes, they heat their homes to hellish degrees, in my view.
Wow.
But because you also have, in these traditional homes, you also have what's called a Kachelofen very often, which are these traditional stoves that will also often be in the center of the kitchen, or everybody will sort of sit around this traditional stove. Very often it's fueled by firewood. So you put in firewood, but it keeps the whole place really warm for like 12 hours or longer. And it's very cozy, very warm. So you're not going to freeze because you opened the window for 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think you're very happy to have a bit of fresh air sometimes. So there's a whole system.
It's making more sense to me.
Yeah.
I have a hypothetical for you. So like you're with friends. Someone reveals they haven't Lüften in like 2 years. Are you disgusted? Are you embarrassed? Like, how important is this? Like, would you be like, oh my God, don't tell anyone that? Or maybe because it's just so well sealed, like I didn't know this stuff going in, like you would know right away because it would smell like firewood and mold.
Yeah, I don't know. If you didn't ever open your windows...
But like, what's your reaction?
We would judge.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I think so, yeah.
Which I guess, okay, in the US, if somebody hadn't opened their windows in 2 years, I didn't really think about this part, I would be kind of like, hey, everything okay?
Exactly. It's like, there's...
But when I was writing this, I was like, here's a hard-hitting question.
I mean, yeah, even in the US, that would be weird, right? I just never, ever open my windows.
Just ignore that. Yeah, but
honestly, here, it would... I mean, to be fair, it really is in rental contracts very often, which is weird, in my opinion. Because it's not like anybody can check if you're Lüften the place or not. But I guess the point is that if you end up with mold or something like that, and then it kind of looks like the windows haven't ever been opened, then, potentially that's like a violation of your rental contract and your landlord, can do something about it. I've never, ever heard that happening. I don't think anybody could ever actually prove whether you opened your windows or not. So I think it's, I don't think it's enforceable. But it is kind of funny that you have it in there. So it's that much of a concept that like your rental contract stipulates that you must Lüften, once a day or whatever.
Okay. All right. I think I do get it more now. Like there are some reasons like that makes sense. Just the equation's different. If it's sealed more, you want to open it more, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
and most of the windows are like triple planed glass.
Okay.
So these are not like simple glass windows. I think my windows are all double or triple paned. And then when you close them, they seal off totally tight. Keeps the place warm. It's more energy efficient, obviously. And it keeps the cool in as well, in the summer when it's cool. But it means that you need to open the windows every now and then because you're going to have very stale air.
Okay. So along these lines, I think we can lightning around our way to our next topic. Smoking is more visible than one might expect in Austria and in Vienna. I did put this right after Lüften on purpose. Despite recent regulations, despite this supposed interest in fresh air that you guys have or something, smoking remains culturally normalized.
Are you saying we might be hypocritical?
I would love to hear how this is worked out in one's mind. I haven't been there in like 10-ish years almost, Carmen. Back then, I seem to remember, overdue. I seem to remember back then indoor smoking sections still, even if they were kind of like in corners and maybe not at every place. So like, what is this like here currently? Like the more visible smoking compared to, North America, I would say.
So I will say it's improved a lot. There is a lot less smoking, although you see a lot of vaping now, which has kind of replaced it, but I mean, I find that preferable.
Okay. Like indoor vaping?
Yeah, indoor sometimes as well. But on the whole, I think in most places you're not really allowed to smoke anymore, so they did institute a smoking ban in 18 or 19, something like that.
Okay, which is still pretty late, I think, for a lot of North American listeners.
It's very late, yeah. And before that, I mean, when I first moved here, I moved to Vienna in 2008, people were smoking inside the university. Like, in front of the library was sort of the hangout. And, I mean, I always found it kind of funny because there were about 500 no smoking signs there, but under every no smoking sign was an ashtray. So mixed messages, and it was absolutely the smoking room. And so that was normal. People were smoking like in the buildings and of course in restaurants, cafes, everywhere. And you didn't even have non-smoking sections at the time. So that's like 16 years ago. It was rampant and everywhere. Then they did introduce, I think around 2010, 11, they introduced, this law that you had to have at least a non-smoking section in every restaurant or establishment, and it had to be,
Okay.
this is where we're at.
Right. Non-smoking section.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to like sniff it directly. You can just secondhand sniff
Correct, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had some really amazing things, like they did say that anything smaller than 50 square meters was exempt. And so there's one bar that I know. It was a fun place. Oh, you've been there, Bendel. Do you remember going there?
Yeah.
Very fun place, right? But very smoky, that was just part of the vibe there. And I think that place was like 55 square meters. And so they just like blocked off one corner and we're like, oh, this isn't used anymore. So now we're 50 square meters and we don't need to have a non-smoking section, So they were like these weird little loopholes that people found. But on the whole, now I think a couple years ago, I think you basically can't smoke in any place anymore. You have to, I think, go outside to smoke now. I honestly don't know, but I haven't noticed people smoking. So obviously something changed. It's been much more pleasant.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you might see it more, but maybe not at this point. It's not going to be like you will be sitting next to people smoking indoors.
No. Only you will have it quite a lot if you're sitting in like a guest garden, like a patio or something. There, people will be smoking like right next to you. That is annoying in summer. But not inside. No, it's really not inside anymore. So yeah, I guess there must be a full smoking ban these days.
Okay, so more visible, but trending, in the opposite direction or something.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Cash is still normal and often expected. Austria remains more cash-oriented than many visitors would expect. It's saying here small cafes, bakeries, like mountain huts. I don't know why that's in this list.
Oh, no.
Some restaurants, they can be cash only.
Mountain huts are an important point because we go hiking a lot and skiing a lot, and a lot of the mountain huts do not take anything except cash.
Yeah, so I think this is different than the US or Canada. Like, I carry cash, but I don't always have it, and I have the same cash for like months. Like, often I won't touch it. Now I use my phone a lot. A lot of the places that I go, I can just tap. So, yeah, what do you think about this, Carmen? Like, I'm curious, how much, like, a normal weekday, it's like Tuesday, how much cash do you just have on you to, like, deal with unforeseen events in your, like, daily... Is there, like, some level that you always have? Because you're going to go to some places that require cash? Because, I mean, you're in Vienna itself. I feel like this would be the least cash-dependent place. But maybe I'm wrong about that, too.
Yeah, I don't carry that much
like,
cash.
What is this at?
Although I do run into the problem sometimes that, I'm running around trying to find an ATM because I'm at some place that only takes cash. So I don't think I'm a great example of this. I think most Austrians do carry more cash than I do normally. I'm not very good about it. But there are, I will say that the COVID pandemic changed this quite a bit. So there's a lot more digitized payment systems now.
Mm-hmm.
And we do use our phones and cards and whatever for almost everything. But mountain huts actually is a really important point because if you're at a mountain hut, it's not like you can just run to an ATM. Like, there is nothing nearby. So if you are going up on a mountain, you should always bring cash because they often have problems with reception, and so then they can't really do the wireless payments, and so that's one reason they won't take cards sometimes. Other times I think they just don't want to deal with the whole hassle of the system or whatever. So mountain huts, that is one where I would always make sure to have cash with me, whether it's hiking, skiing, whatever.
Do you remember the last time that you had to go to an ATM? Like, what was it for?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Yeah. What like, was this for a bakery? Or like,
no,
what?
I went to an ATM yesterday because I went cross-country skiing and, we were out in the countryside. Okay, so it was outdoor
stuff.
Yeah, and so I went and got cash before going because at those places you just never know if you can pay with card or not. But yeah, it is still pretty cash-based. There is a whole movement. I don't know how much actually support it has, but there is a movement called Bares ist Wahres, which means only cash is the truth, basically. And that's a group of people that want to get it put into the Constitution that, you should only be able to pay with cash, or you should always also be able to pay with cash. And so it's tied up with privacy concerns in a lot of cases. You know, people don't want the bank tracing everything that you do and knowing everything that you buy and then potentially selling that to somebody. I mean, it is legitimate. I think that those concerns make sense, but sometimes it really is a bit, you know, feels a bit Stone Agey, like everything can only be cash.
Okay.
But yeah, so you do have those movements. And yeah, there are some places that really will only take cash, some restaurants as well. To be fair, there is a certain tax avoidance element to the whole situation as well that I think we cannot totally overlook.
Oh, I forgot about that entirely. Right. Okay.
So there's...
okay, interesting. So it sounds like you are not going to be stuck somewhere and there's no ATM or no option like you bring all your money before you get on the plane. It doesn't sound like that.
No. For most things.
Maybe just have a little more.
For most things, you'll be fine. But if you're going a little bit more into the countryside, definitely take some cash. The other place, actually, in Vienna that I would generally recommend cash, although it's gotten better as well, is the Heurige. If you go to a Heurige, which are the wine gardens, like sort of at the periphery of the city, they sometimes will not take cards either. And there's usually nothing very nearby to get cash, and so that can be a slight problem.
Okay. All right. I think that sounds covered. Next.
Okay. Basically, to sum it up, try to have like 20 euros on you at all times, and you'll be good.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. Okay. Yeah, and that's basically what I do in the US. I'm like, oh, I have a 20, and here's some Barbie and some cards. I'm like, okay, fine. It can like get me out of some random pinch. Okay. Next. The service in Austria and Vienna, it's polite, but it's not performative. Customer service is professional, efficient, but it's restrained. Servers don't hover, they don't introduce themselves by name, and they don't rush you out. Kind of along these lines, tipping is a little bit more modest, like you would round up to the next euro. You might add 5 or 10%. It's not really like the 18 or 20 or 25% norm that Americans are, used to or becoming used to. Yeah, thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah, all of that is pretty true. I will say sometimes the service is also quite cheeky. So they can sometimes be very funny with, how they interact with you.
Okay.
But they're not, nobody's going to introduce themselves by name. Austrians find that very weird in the US that you get a whole, little spiel about, their whole life history. In Austria, there's none of that. It's like, no, what do you want to order? Let's, get a move on. But they don't rush you out either, right? You can stay there basically all day if you want to.
Okay. So what about tipping? I recall rounding up to next euro often and paying in cash often. Are you expected to tip more now or ever?
Rounding up to the next euro would be for small things like coffees or something like that. If it's a bit bigger, like a full dinner or something, you'll add a few euros. But 10%, you definitely don't need to do more than that. And nobody's expecting more than that. So it's fairly modest tipping. Yeah. People get paid a decent wage, and this is just like a little bit of a sign of appreciation on top of it. And it's actually totally fine, and I do it all the time. If a coffee costs $3.90, I give them 4 euros. That's totally fine. Okay.
All right. Yeah. And that's interesting. I think too, it's our instinct often to be like, oh no, but we're North American or we're used to some other thing. I'm going to do this and like, they're going to love it. They probably like it. Is it awkward? Right. Because sometimes like that can be strange, right? Even though we think it might be nice. And I know that's, there's a lot of thoughts about this, but I guess I'm getting this from Japan too, where we both lived. Like if you overtip there, it's borderline
rude, like insulting
and like creates kind of a problem for them because they're like, oh my God, I have to do something improper to accept this. Anyway, is there anything like that going on there? Like, would you say do not tip 25% like these?
No, it's not like in Japan. In Japan, it is insulting, right? And they feel like it's a form of corruption or something. Yeah,
or they chase you and return it and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, here, they will take it. I think they will very happily take it, and I think in some ways they really like American visitors because they usually tip way too much. And the people, they're happy to take the money. but you really don't need to. And actually, I think on the whole, it's kind of bad because it starts to set expectations for everybody else that are unnecessary, right? So I say stick to 10%, no more, and you'll be rolling like a local.
Okay. All right, next topic. I mean, so far we have aired our home, we smoke outside, we brought cash. The service is, terse. What we can tip, 10%. We're getting coffee now.
They can be a bit rude with their service sometimes, but that's just how it is.
That's the thing. I don't know that I ever got used to that. In my, I don't know, total 2 weeks that I spent there over various trips. But it's at first I'm like, okay, I can kind of get into it. And then it's unintuitive that I can stay for so long because I'm like, wait, they're ignoring me and or they don't like me. It's this big adjustment. But I did.
They do straight ignore you for a long time. I feel
like I could get into it. I think I could get into it and exactly the cheekiness of it. There's a little banter level there.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
And I will say the cheek works better in German because they just can be a bit more sarcastic or funny in German. They don't do it that well in English. So
that makes sense
if
too.
ever there was a reason to learn German, it's to understand the cheeky remarks that your random waiter is making towards you.
Okay. So, yes, now we're getting coffee. Coffee culture, it's more ritual, it's less transaction. Coffee houses are not grab and go, generally. Ordering coffee, that implies that you'll sit for an hour, maybe more, without any pressure. And yeah, this is a little bit out there, as an American in Seattle, but it's saying here in this list, in Austria, refills are uncommon. Each coffee's a distinct order. I kind of think that goes without saying a little bit, but maybe for some people there's, I guess at Starbucks, there's some kind of secret-ish refill rule on drip coffee. There's a certain number of refills you can get. So it's maybe this is a little bit of an older American assumption. Yeah, so all this seems right to me, right? Coffee was not something you necessarily are just picking up while you do something else. Does it feel true to you, Carmen? And do you prefer it this way now?
It does
or what do you think?
Ring true to me, although this has changed a little bit too. You do have more to-go coffee orders.
Okay.
Now, it's not that unusual to have people take a coffee to go, but in general, yeah, you should sit and enjoy your coffee, have a sit down, read the newspaper, have a little bit of a chat. There is that culture still, and yeah, I like it. Coffee is just a part of your day here, and people take their coffee quite seriously.
Yeah, it's a good coffee city.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
And yeah, the refills thing, I don't really know. I mean, for me, that sort of is American diner, in the Midwest somewhere.
Exactly.
Maybe,
that's
right. But I think that's not.
Yeah, it's on this list. I'm kind of not sure why, but yeah.
Which in the countryside here, maybe. But still, I think, coffee, you really kind of sit and drink it. And you still have these traditional coffee shops that will have the newspaper on these wooden kind of holders. And people will sit there and page through them. And it's nice to see that still. It's very traditional.
Okay. Next, the quietness is socially enforced. Noise expectations are stricter than many visitors to Austria would anticipate. Quiet hours are taken seriously, especially at night, especially on Sundays.
It's called Nachtruhe.
Okay, is that a Sunday thing specifically?
Nachtruhe. Oh no. Nachtruhe is every day from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh.
And it's the nighttime peace. And it is to be
10
kept.
to 6.
Let me tell you. Oh, yes.
All right. Yeah, it's saying loud phone calls, music, hallway noise in hotels or apartments that can get complaints. It's this informal but firm social order kind of thing. So, yeah, Carmen, how many noise complaints have you received? Are there any highlights that you want to share with us?
I've had some incidents, I will say.
Okay.
Maybe just in general. I think Vienna actually, part of what makes it very livable and very nice is that it is so quiet. At night, it really is quiet.
Actually, yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah. You would have to live literally on top of a bar or something to have a lot of noise. And that actually is super nice. You know, in the summer when you have the windows open, nobody has, or most people don't have air conditioning. So you have your windows open a lot. And if there's a lot of noise, it just makes it, you know, very difficult to sleep. And I remember like being in New York or in some of these big American cities, you know, after living here for a while, I was like, oh my God, it's so loud. How do people function?
Right. And I think that's true a little bit here. I remember having a noise complaint myself one time. There was this concert happening on the top of a building that had just opened up, something kind of crazy and, you know, unusual here in Seattle. And I would like call the police and I was kind of like, hey, this is like, what are the laws? It was just so loud. And they're kind of like, well, basically there's no law about any kind of sound until 10 p.m. and then we can like try to enforce it. It just sound, you know, it's like, it's a totally different approach. And I don't think of Seattle as even all that loud.
Wow. Very Austrian of you, calling the police straight away and asking about the rules.
Yeah. I was kind of like, hey, can they have a concert that I can't not hear right now? Like, is that legal? So yeah, kind of was.
Yeah. So in Vienna, it is also from 10 p.m. And most, you know, outdoor seating areas will have to shut down at 10. People have to kind of go inside. And yeah, people take their Nachtruhe very seriously. You know, if people are making noise, people will come and knock on the door. I was once at a party. Actually, the one incident that comes to mind now is I was at a party and we were out in the courtyard. I mean, I guess it was summer, it was warm. And this woman just dumped a bottle of water, or like a whole bucket of water, out of her window on top of us.
Whoa.
To like tell us to shut up. So that was how she handled it.
Okay, so you're not always going to get like a polite, hey.
No, you might just get a bucket of water dropped on you. I mean, that can happen. Or, you know, they'll call the police. That's happened a couple of times too, that the police will come.
Okay, she might have been doing her Lüften. Okay. So like, you be quiet. You never know who's doing that.
Oh, you think it was an innocent Lüften and there just happened to be...
Oh, I'm just saying like she opened it. She's like, hey, it's Lüften time. For me, that's 11 p.m. or something. Right. And these courtyard, you know, like cretins or whatever.
These courtyard cretins. Yeah. Disturbing her Lüften. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, there's consequences. You can't disturb the Lüften, so yeah, fair.
Wow. Okay, so like, what did you guys do? Do you go dry off? And like, I don't know how this one ended.
I mean, I think people were pretty angry and just didn't really know how to even respond. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think we just went and drank some more wine and we're like, well, whatever.
Okay.
I don't remember taking it super seriously. I just know that some people were quite angry because they got wet. I didn't really get wet, so I didn't care too much.
Okay. Okay. Okay, but gosh, be warned. You could get a bucket of water dumped on you.
You could.
All right.
Or a visit from the police also happens, but then normally they just tell you to quiet down.
All right, so that is the nighttime quietness. Then Sundays are a different kind of quiet. Sundays are treated as a near universal rest day. I remember you telling me this, and like then I experienced it. I wasn't really prepared. I was kind of like, oh, what? Like our 10% of stores close an hour early. I just kind of had this more like American urban mindset. But most shops, grocery stores, malls, pharmacies are closed.
Yep.
Train stations and tourist areas can have limited options. Planning ahead is essential. That one's kind of shocking to me. For the few stores that are open, not everything is available. Sometimes only essentials. I remember seeing this, like just a random open window at a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, you know, North Americans were, you know, many of us used to 24/7 retail and access to critical things or, you know, something. So that's surprising. But yeah, is this true? Like,
it is absolutely true. Yeah.
Okay. So it says essentials. It's Sunday at like 8 p.m. Like, what can't you get?
Okay.
Like, you just cannot.
I love that question already because any day at 8 p.m. you can't get anything. So we're not even talking Sunday.
I don't even know how to ask the right question. Wow.
Because the grocery stores close at 8 p.m. on every day, except for Saturday when they close at 6 p.m.
Okay, fine.
And on Sunday they're closed anyway.
Okay, let's change it to like, wow, truly nothing. So what about Sunday fine, let's make it like 2.
Okay. What can you get, or what was the question?
What can't you get? Because I mean, I started asking things before we were recording. I was like, okay, so what? You can't get wine? You're like, oh yes, you could.
Oh yeah, no.
And I remember those, those little pharmacy windows. It's like, okay, you could get like a painkiller. I bet you could get, but like, what couldn't you get?
All right, what is the general situation on a Sunday at 2 p.m.?
Maybe you're like, oh, I want to cook.
Yeah. If you want to cook. So the thing is, in Vienna, you do have, like, in the whole city, there's 3 or 4 grocery stores that are open on a Sunday.
3 or 4?
Yeah, and they are a zoo.
It's a big city.
Oh, yeah, it's a madhouse. You try to avoid it if you can.
What?
But if you really need to get something, then you have a couple of grocery stores that are open, and you would go to one of those.
Okay.
However, you will be dealing with a million other people because, yeah, it's packed. And not everything's available. So, yeah, like you said before, some sections of the store will just be locked off because it's non-essential.
Just locked.
It's so bizarre. Yeah. It's like the store's open, but like these 2 aisles are not accessible. But wine and alcohol, of course, isn't essential, so you can get that.
Well, right. I'm wondering, I'm like, essential how? Okay.
Yeah, but some of the, like, considered non-essential stuff, I mean, I don't really know how they came up with this. I mean, I haven't gone in a long time on a Sunday to a shop, but I know years ago we were trying to do a picnic in the summer and we wanted to get some paper plates and, cutlery and whatever from the shop. Guess what was considered not essential and was locked off on a Sunday when we were trying to go have a picnic? All the paper towels, the paper plates, the like plastic silverware, all of that was locked off and we couldn't buy it. So we just bought some more wine instead, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. And like washing detergent will be not available. It's
no cleaning on Sunday. Okay. Truly a day of rest. Okay. Gosh. So, like, if you had just had, mystery water dumped on you from the party before, like on a Sunday, I guess you're just putting that in the hamper that you can't deal with it on Sunday until Monday.
No, you're just living with it. Yeah. So that is a bit weird. And, if you're coming to Austria, or for me, sometimes I have this problem as well. If I'm coming back from a trip and I arrive on a Sunday, you're kind of like, what do I do? Because nothing's open. And if I haven't been here for 2 weeks, it's not like I have stuff at home. And so you will have like, restaurants will be open, kebab shops will be open. Okay. The sort of small little kiosk-y
go out.
Things. Yeah, you can go out. Okay. Bakeries are kind of hit or miss. Some bakeries are open, some are not. But like worst case scenario, you get a kebab or like a hot dog or whatever. Like that's available. But yeah, in terms of cooking or like household cleaning supplies and stuff like that, you're pretty limited.
Yeah, even the way you answered this, you're like, I haven't been to a store on a Sunday in a long time. Like, what? That's like a main shopping day. You know what I mean? Like, in the US, it's like, oh, we're preparing for the week, right? Like, that is the busy day at the grocery store, like Sunday and Monday, I think, generally.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, that's like opposite, like ingrained in the routine of just typical people.
Yeah, because if you want to go grocery shopping on a Sunday, you're going to one of these madhouse zoo villas that are open, and it's a total nightmare. So no, I try to avoid it.
So okay, Sunday is for going to restaurants. It's for Lüften.
Going to have a coffee. The coffee shops are open. Okay. You can go and have a cappuccino or a melange. But yeah, that is a little bit the idea behind it. I do get annoyed by it sometimes because it makes my shopping complicated sometimes because, of course, Sunday would be a useful day. But it does kind of slow things down, and it's a day where, yeah, you go and have brunch with a friend and then kind of have some outdoor activity, go for a hike, whatever. And the idea is that not so many people are working on Sunday, right? All the shops are closed, so all those people don't have to work. So it has to do with the labor laws. And with this idea that, yeah, you kind of should just take it easy on Sunday, spend time with family, friends, and do your shopping some other day and, have a stressful Saturday instead. I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, because I, like, as a visitor, I was shocked and frustrated, okay? I want to say, like, the first time I kind of understood, like, the sweeping nature of, like, this quiet Sunday. But yeah, I don't know. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know if is this a different kind of jaded where I'm just like, don't change. I'm like, you know what? This is interesting. Like, it's just like a different way of life. There are a lot of upsides to that, I could think, because yeah, I mean, there's also this whole busy Sunday, like, let's be productive before a week where we need to be productive, where I mean, is this the better way for all people? I'm not trying to answer that one or the other. I'm just saying, like, there's probably upsides to both of these, and that is great. Hey, all these people that might be working that crazy day, they're not there with their families, or they're doing all the other valid things. I don't know. So it's like, I guess I'm just saying I was shocked. Now I'm a little bit into it. Do I have to live it? No, but it's nice. It's cute over there, and I like that for them. Okay. Well, that's supposed to come out in a good way.
Thanks for your support.
Yeah, that's my brain dump on that. Like, I'm sure I would be very frustrated.
Your very distanced support. Yeah, very much appreciated.
I am pretty impatient in a lot of ways, so that would be hard for me. But yeah, I think you would plan, like, you would get a routine around it. I just think you probably would.
Yeah, that's what it is. It takes a bit of getting used to, but yeah, you end up having a routine around it, and then you just know that on Sunday you're not going shopping and you're not doing any of these things, and you need to plan it somewhere else. And maybe it does speak a little bit to people having maybe, more of a work-life balance, or more of this, like, your free time is your free time, and, nobody should be working on this day. Obviously, that's not totally true. I mean, like, doctors have to work, hospitals, whatever. I mean, there's lots of services that obviously, the bus drivers, whatever, obviously the city doesn't like shut down. But yeah, for whatever reason, the grocery stores were, I think, always, closed on Sundays. And there are occasional calls to change it or to have more shops open on Sundays, but it doesn't really ever get much traction.
Yeah, that's interesting too. Like, so people must like something about this, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a passive thing. I feel like it's more than just being like a passive, like, oh, this is how it is. Like, somebody must be like, no, this is good.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that, I don't know, I guess I don't have any strong opinions about it at this stage.
Which is interesting. That itself, okay? Because you came from way more 24/7, and then, like, Japan is arguably even more 24/7.
Yeah, true. It was quite an adjustment in the beginning, I mean, yeah. But I don't know, at this stage I also think, like, whatever, it works fine. I would be in favor of, like, some more shops being open, and maybe being a bit later open on Saturday, because they close quite early on Saturday.
4 for the city of Vienna? Yes. That is absurd.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm like, hey, how do I open a 5th? Okay, that's what I'm like, listen.
That's lucrative, yeah. Oh, what's generally actually open? Well, more than the normal shops anyway, are the Turkish shops. So there's the Turkish supermarkets. They somehow are more likely to be open on a Sunday. I don't know what kind of loophole they get in the law or whatever. So the Turkish shops are sometimes available. But no, it's very limited. So yeah, if you're coming to Austria, and the other thing, the biggest problem is, if the Monday is a holiday, because on holidays everything is also closed. And so if you have something where there's like a Sunday-Monday combo, then you've got 2 days where the shops are closed, and then you really have to kind of plan, and everybody at some stage gets caught out by that. It happens to everyone.
Wow, okay. And on a dark note, I guess, okay. But all right, if you're traveling, I kind of forgot this is about travel. If you're traveling there, it's like, yeah, you get there on a Sunday morning, you're not going to probably get your sandwich stuff for your Airbnb. Okay? I guess that's what we're saying. Okay, to try to ground this.
Ground this. No, instead what you're going to do is you're going to do a little Lüften session, and then go get a coffee, and that's your day.
Get a coffee, you're gonna eat out.
Yes, exactly. Get a kebab on the way home. Like, that's how you roll.
So, yeah. I mean, we're recording this on a Sunday.
We are, yeah.
So I hope you have enough food, Carmen. I mean,
honestly, just barely.
Any emergencies?
I almost had a Sunday emergency today. I just barely had enough food to, like, still actually cook something.
Okay, well, I'm happy for you.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, like, if you're visiting Austria, you've been warned. Okay, here are a list of warnings. No.
Good luck.
I feel like there was... That's the thing. I'm looking through this list and I'm like, wait,
we did say it was a survival
these
guide.
Are not all right. Like, do these all kind of have a negative bent to them? They're all, I would say, kind of like neutral. They're neutral warnings, okay? There are upsides to many of these.
There are, and it works.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's also the most livable in the whatever list, 4,000 years running or something like that. So, okay, like, obviously, this all works together somehow.
I think we actually lost our top spot last year.
No, to who?
I think Munich or some nonsense like that.
Munich?
Yeah. And we got some ranking about being friendly, which we're very unhappy about. We can live with not being the most livable, but being the friendliest? No, something is amiss. We don't accept that.
All right, well, you go and, like, be unfriendly or something today, okay? Right that wrong.
Will do. All right, so I think that's it.
I think I'm good.
Yeah? All right, so that's it for our show. Thank you for listening. And if you liked what you heard, share with your friends or leave us a 5-star review. And if you didn't like it then, well, don't worry about that review.
You can find us on social medias, Vienna Past and Prez on Instagram, or send us your episode ideas at viennapastandpresent@gmail. Or if you were surprised by any things during a visit you took, send us an email about that as well.
Yeah, let us know. Maybe we can follow up with a part 2 and see what other things people have encountered. All right, well, that's it. Auf Wiedersehen, pfiat euch, Baba.
Bye.